hmm this affirmative duty to make a reasonable effort to step in and prevent the harm? Yes. hmm And then, at what cost will the court impose a duty to preserve the life of a child? Asserting parents have a duty to aid their children and citing criminal law precedent? Yeah. Now, Ricky Ryan note assessing criminal liability for the passive parent. Why New York should hold the passive parent criminally liable. Oh. Cardoza's women's, yeah, indicating that numerous states have increasingly punished, yes, the passive parent through failure to protect theories or statutes. Yeah. Now, there's what's known as the failure to protect. It could be a theory. It might be a law. Oh. Now, since November 15th of 2015, I have emailed law enforcement, yes, that my wife did not sign the protection order. Yes. I was not given any due process. And you issued it for 10 years. Yes. Now, what we've looked at over the last week is what's known as sewer service. Yeah. hmm Where she said that she sent it, but I didn't get a copy of it. Oh. And then we looked at the RCWs of the necessary amount of time for mail, and or publication. Yes. And then personal service. Mm. Now, this increasingly punished the passive parent through failure to protect theories or statutes. I would say, yes, that when my wife fabricated a police report against me on July 2nd of 2011, yeah. As a father, I was obstructed from being able to protect my five sons. Yeah. Now, I went through 7 hours of parenting classes. I moved back to Clallam County, lived at 1023 Kitchen Dick Road. Yes. And you had me arrested 3 days after she petitioned the court for dissolution of marriage. Mhm. And I'm the domestic abuser and child abuser. Isn't that what you're saying? Now, when I got out of jail, yes. Mhm. I did respond within the 90 days, and she motioned the court for default dissolution of marriage. Yes. Now, this failure to protect, there are some theories or statutes about failing to protect. Let's say I had some large lawsuits today. Yes. Sheriff's departments that fail to protect children. Police departments that fail to protect children. Yes. States of the United States that fail to protect children. And then there's the United States federal government that fails to protect children. Yeah. Now, I'm going to want to sue you for failure to protect my five sons. Yes. And Marilyn's six kids. Yes. Now, you have failed to protect children. You failed to protect children. Now, obviously, yes. When I got here in 2012, you decided to issue a dissolution of marriage where my wife failed to protect my sons. I was not the domestic abuser. No. I was not the child abuser. No. And when you issued that dissolution of marriage, you failed to protect them because of my wife's failure to give me notice and opportunity. Mhm. Now, this whole idea of your family, oh, I want you to understand that I always sue for as much as I can get. Yes. And I always sue for as many years as you can get. Because the number of years you spend in prison, yes, makes me happy as long as you get as many years as possible. Now let's look at the failure to protect theories and statutes. There are statutes that mandatory reporters are obligated to report, yes, fraud, oh, abuse, oh, felony, yes, forgery, and for the failure to protect, I'm going to want to sue. Now, I want you to understand, police officers, yes, when I sent you an email that documented that I did not receive any civil rights in 2011, yeah, because you issued the protection order without any arrest taking place, yes. Well, there was no arrest that took place in the state of Washington. Yes. Failure to protect. Now, I waited years for you to remove that protection order because I didn't need a mental health evaluation and treatment if recommended. Yeah. What I needed you to do was to enforce my rights because I really thought in 2011 when you issued that protection order, yeah, and you served me on Guam, yes, when I was in jail for 10 days for the false allegation of domestic violence and child abuse, yeah, that I had the right to sue you then. Now, let's say you're going to continue. Well, I might not know much about the law, but I know as a father, anytime you don't give me notice, you violated my parenting rights. And I have an obligation to protect my sons. Now, you can make the decision to enforce the laws today. Yeah, you can do that. Or I'm just going to continue to make absolutely sure that you never get out of prison for the rest of your lives. Do you understand?